So I'm a mom and I'm also a holistic nutritionist, and I'm all about raising little food lovers. And I've put together a great video today where I go through some of the most common food products we buy when we're on autopilot at the grocery store, when we can make far healthier options. And I totally get it as a parent. It's overwhelming knowing what to choose at the grocery store when you have so many mixed marketing messages and food packaging all fighting for your dollars. So I've chosen 9 common foods that people buy that I have given you a healthy swap for, that in some cases is actually more affordable, but most importantly, so much more nutritious for you and for your kids too. I want you to eat the foods that make you feel amazing. I'm so excited for you to come on this joyous journey with me because I know you're gonna feel refreshed and rejuvenated and totally motivated to take the best care of you. Okay, the first one I'm gonna start out with is the one that your kids are probably eating every single day, and I'm gonna start with boxed cereal. Now, it would have been really obvious and super easy for me to say swap out the Lucky Charms or the Frosted Flakes, but I feel like that's too obvious. We know that those are full of sugar, so I thought I would start with a boxed cereal. Typical boxed cereals that they look like they're healthy. You know, you might see a field of wheat, or it just looks natural and healthy, but it's actually not, because it could be full of sugar. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't healthy. It's just that if you want something that contains less sugar and the second or third ingredient isn't brown sugar, then this is not the best choice. So what you can do that is way more affordable is just make your own granola. You can go to a bulk store and you can do a big batch of this. So you can buy your rolled oats, you could buy a few different dried fruits, chop them up, mix it with a little bit of maple syrup, some cinnamon, and then bake it. I've got great recipes on how to make your own granola. And if you're thinking, but Joy, I don't have the time, you do this in large batches. So you could do this once a month, and then you're getting so much more fiber and you're not getting all that refined sugar and sodium and other food additives. This for sure, this packaged brand is healthier than a lot of them out there. So, you have to worry about artificial flavors and dyes and all those things, and you don't have to worry about that when you make your own. So my next one is ketchup. Who loves ketchup here? So ketchup is one that I can't personally relate to because I've actually never been big into ketchup, but I hear from you guys, I definitely hear parents tell me that their kid won't eat anything without ketchup, and really what you're telling me is that your kids won't eat anything without sugar. So that's the thing with ketchup, right? 1 tablespoon of ketchup has 4 grams of sugar. 4 grams of sugar is about 1 teaspoon of white sugar. And who only uses 1 tablespoon of ketchup? Your kid might be getting, 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar. That's far too much. So what you could do instead is swap to salsa. Now, you have to be careful with some salsas too, because you know what, honestly, sometimes they can have even more sugar than ketchup. This is one you definitely have to transition. Kids are not going to be open to this at first. Well, some kids might be, but you can put it on eggs. All of the foods that you would put ketchup with, you can 100% use salsa with. If you think of the most common food that most kids eat every day, I bet it's yogurt. And this is a really easy swap to make. This yogurt isn't even the worst of the worst, but it's the flavored yogurts, and the yogurts with the fruit on the bottom can be loaded with sugar. Sure, one of these has about 4 grams of sugar, but what kid is only eating 1 of these? This is so small. This is 1 spoonful. Most kids are gonna eat 2 or 3 of these. So what you can do, the simplest thing to do with yogurt is buy plain, unsweetened, so no flavoring, no fruit in there. And then you know what? You as a parent are in control of how much sweetener there is in there. So I love using kefir, coconut yogurt. I make coconut yogurt myself. If you're not into the coconut yogurt, you can just buy plain yogurt. Add honey, add a bit of cinnamon, add a little bit of maple syrup, and then you're in control of how much sugar your kid is getting. So everybody has had a goldfish. Love them or hate them, definitely one of the most popular packaged foods. And my biggest issue with goldfish is just all of the ingredients it is loaded with. That's a challenge with processed and packaged foods, right? There's food-like substance in there. So I say the biggest issue with this is the food additives. For one, you've got the MSG, which is the autolyzed yeast. You've also got ammonium bicarbonate, which is actually found in fertilizer, and it's a flame retardant. And yeah, it's also also used in baked goods, but I think we can do better than this. I know people love their goldfish, but I think we can do better, which is why I absolutely love these Love Ducks by Love Child Organics. They're made with organic corn grits, organic dehydrated carrot, dehydrated apple, and you can dip them into hummus or whatever dip your kids love. And they're really, really tasty and crunchy. So that's what kids love about these. It's a crunchy snack, right? And you get the same thing with Love Child. And if your kids like sort of a sweeter flavor, my daughter likes both the sort of sweet and the more salty. I also love Love Child's Organic Owlies, and this is made with organic spelt flour, and they're just like, they're so cute. And I sometimes dip these in almond butter or sun butter if my daughter's taking these to school, because it has to be nut-free. And in these little cookies or crackers, whatever you want to call them, there's only 2 grams of sugar per 5 cookies, and 5 cookies would actually be a really good serving. A food that we've all grown up on is peanut butter. So whether it is Kraft or Jif or Skippy, the biggest problem I see with all of these brands is that they're just so sugary. And you know, really a nut butter shouldn't be anything other than nuts. When you look at the ingredients list, you shouldn't see soybean oil, and that's of course genetically modified soybean oil, corn maltodextrin, sugar, vegetable oil. That's not what a nut butter should be made of. So nut butter should just be nuts or seeds. So if we look at this sun butter that I buy that Vienna loves, this is just dry roasted sunflower seeds and organic sunflower oil. Now, a lot of times, like the peanut butter we buy is just peanuts. The almond butter we buy is just almonds. Now, if you are transitioning your child or yourself, you're a grown-up, you want to transition from Skippy to natural peanut butter, I get it. It can be hard, but you know what you do? You just put a little bit of raw honey, drizzle a little bit of raw honey over top of the natural butter, and you'll love it. And your kids will love it too. So sometimes it's just about, you know, transitioning them slowly, and they'll be into it. Now, when I was in the grocery store shopping for these foods that I want to show you can make healthy swaps for, I noticed there was a huge section in the grocery store across from all the processed boxed cereals of puddings and fruit sauces and apple sauces, and I picked up like 5 or 6 of different ones, and they were all loaded with sugar. Like, I cannot believe this applesauce has 22 grams of sugar per serving. Like, that is just about 8 grams less shy of a can of pop. That is pretty crazy. So, you know what? Sugar, as much as people will argue that sugar doesn't affect children, I bet those people do not have kids and have not seen the effect of sugar. I have seen it firsthand with kids. It 100% negatively affects their behavior and their attention span and their happiness. So what can you do instead? So many options. First of all, instead of applesauce, how about an apple? Just as convenient. Slice it up, put some nut butter on it if you want to have some protein and fat with it, but eat the whole food. Then you don't have those added sugars. You could have a pear, you could have an orange. Kids love fruit. If this is what they grow up eating, it is easier, right? But if they grow up eating this, then it's a little bit of a transition, but you can do it. I also love Child's Organics purees. So we started, when our daughter was about 6 months old and we started introducing foods, we loved traveling with these, and we loved having them for convenience when fresh fruit wasn't available. And what I love about Love Child is all their purees, they add different superfoods in there. So in this one, there's quinoa and acerola, so it's really high in vitamin C and really high in antioxidants as well. And quinoa, of course, has some protein. So it's just like really convenient and way better and not loaded with sugar. Like this one, this full packet has 8 grams of sugar versus one of these tiny little applesauce jars has 22 grams of sugar. Way too much. Okay, another food that I definitely grew up on was pancakes. I am a pancake monster. We make pancakes for our daughter every single weekend, but we just make it from scratch, and it's so easy. So like I said, I grew up on the Aunt Jemima pancake mix where you just add water or put in your egg or whatever. But I'm encouraging you to choose a healthier, better option using whole-based flours. Because if you look at the ingredients here, you know, the pancakes I mix, The pancakes that I use just have like 4 ingredients, and the ingredients are the actual foods that I'm putting into the bowl, whereas this has all different sorts of ingredients. I mean, do you really need color to be added to your pancakes? Of course not. And especially important for children is to avoid the artificial colors, those dyes, and avoid the artificial flavoring. That's really important. So I really like spelt flour. So, you know, all you need is like a couple more ingredients, like some baking soda, a little bit of vanilla, some eggs. You can use coconut flour if you have a gluten-free home, or brown rice flour. I have so many free recipes on my blog for pancakes, which I will link in the description box for you as well. So a little stat for you. In Canada, children's fruit and veggie consumption, 40% of it comes from 2 things. Any guesses? Fruit juice and white potato. And you can bet the white potato is probably French fries. So I know that kids love juice. I get it. So if you didn't start your kid on juice, great. Don't introduce them to it, or do what I do. So my daughter loves sparkling water. I take a little bit of water in her little mason jar and I just shake up. She loves black currant juice. She loves cranberry juice, but it's just straight up juice. This is a brand I really like, Black River. And all I do, you can do this with any juice you have for your kid. I just put a little splash of it and she thinks she's getting juice. A total mom win. Such a good mom hack. So that's going to save you money too, because you're just basically diluting the juice. So whether your kid loves orange juice, now if your kid is already eating like a full glass of orange juice every day, you're going to have to transition them slowly, but you can do it. And then, you know, resort to whole foods first. If your kid loves orange juice, then get them to eat oranges. So my final food product that you can make a healthy, easy swap is granola bar. When you go to the grocery store, you will see a wall of so many different kinds of granola bars. There are just as many bars as there are boxed cereals, and it can be very confusing. And so, you know, I picked up a brand that kind of looks healthy, says nature in the name, but the problem is all of the ingredients. If you just look at the ingredients label, a granola bar really shouldn't have this many ingredients. And guess what the second ingredient is? Sugar. We really need to get these refined sugars out of our kids' diets and out of our diets. So a bar that we absolutely love is OD Chomps. You've seen it in other videos before where I've talked about like best carbs for kids and packaged foods that we love. My daughter loves the OD Chomps. They come in like a whole variety of flavors, and I will link it in the description box as well. So I just want to thank Love Child Organics so much for sponsoring this video and bringing this information to you. And I want you to know that I only do sponsored videos with brands I absolutely love and we use in our own families. It's my assurance to you that you can trust everything I recommend, because if you came in my kitchen and opened my fridge or you looked in my cupboards, you would see the things that I'm talking about, all the healthy versions of them. So if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment below. If there's any food swaps you're wondering about, you can ask me below and I'd be so happy to get back to you, and I'm sure I've got lots of recipes to share with you guys as well. So subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell that shows the notifications so you never miss an update, and I hope you have a joyous day. Bye guys!